Hello, welcome to this NMC OSCE tutoring video. My name is Hannah. I'm a UK registered nurse, a university lecturer, and I've been an NMC OSCE programme lead. And I provide one-to-one nursing tutoring for international nurses for the NMC OSCE, but also for UK student nurses with their academic studies and return to practice nurses. So if you're new to this channel, I'm trying to share lots of hopefully helpful information and teaching to help you study for your nursing and succeed in your exams and your OSCE. Today I'm going to look at the fluid balance station, so one of the written stations in the NMC OSCE clinical skills exam, and I'm going to talk you through the main requirements, and I'm going to do a little worked example showing you how to fill out the chart at the end on the screen. Okay, so fluid balance, this is a totally silent written station in your NMC OSCE exam, and it used to be 12 minutes, but it was increased to 14 minutes in the September 2024 changes. So a welcome change by the NMC. So we've got more time to complete it, but also time if we make a mistake to rewrite it as well. So you have to complete one full fluid balance chart. So you'll be given a scenario and the chart, and you'll need to correctly fill it in, but then also work out the patient's overall fluid balance as well. So you'll get a calculator, you'll be pleased to hear, so you don't have to worry about doing complicated maths. You'll obviously have a pen, you'll have your fluid balance chart, and you'll have your scenario with the input and output to document. So the fundamentals to passing the station are correctly documenting your fluid input and output information onto the fluid balance chart. You'll have to add up your running totals as well, so your hourly totals, but also your running accumulative total. You'll need to work out the overall fluid balance and write this in mils, and whether it's negative or positive. If you make an error, you can't just scribble it out and rewrite it. You'll need to rewrite your whole chart. There is a bit more time to do this with the time increase, but not a lot. So you want to try and not rush it. So you're going to make silly mistakes. So take your time and do it just correctly the first time round. You must sign and date the chart and ensure all patient details are correct as well. So this is what the fluid balance chart looks like, and you get a copy of this from the NMC OSCE supporting documents. So on the left, we've got all the input, and it goes from a time frame of 8 in the morning to 7 in the morning over the 24-hour time period. Patient details go in the top. We've got our oral, our enteral, so our NG, NJ feeding. We've got parental, which is our IV fluids and IV medications, hourly total, and then our total input. And on the output, we've got urine, gastric losses, these things such as vomiting, bowels, if they're having a lot of loose liquid diarrhea, we would record that in a volume, and then drains, so any drains maybe post-surgery, any drains at all where there is an output. At the bottom, we need to print our name and signature, and then we've got the total balance that we put here, and then we write negative or positive here as well. And I'm going to show you how to do this on the screen at the end of the video, so watch to the end. So you'll get a scenario, might be presented like this, but you'll have a series of fluid input to put onto your chart. So here's all our oral intake. So at 8 o'clock, the patients had 150 mils of water, so we'd write that in, and we'd plot all of these on. We'd have our parental IV fluid input as well, so we might have normal saline, IV medications. I'm going to talk a bit more about how we plot and document IV medications, particularly your fluids. So you'll be given a volume, so like 1,000 mils, and normally a start time and a finish time. And what you need to do is work out what the hourly rate for that fluid is going to be. So if my start time is 10 and it finishes at 8, that's going to be 10 hours of fluid. So I'm going to take my 1,000 mils and divide that by 10 to get 100 mils an hour. And I'm going to show you how you document that. You can't just write 1,000 mils in at 10 o'clock on the fluid balance chart, because they haven't had 1,000 mils at 10 o'clock. Okay, so we need to do the calculation and work out the hourly rate and document it. Okay, so like I said, for example, if I had 1,000 mils of IV saline, it was started at 10 and finished at 8, it would be running over 10 hours. So 1,000 mils divided by 10 is 100 mils an hour. So I need to document 100 mils of saline every hour for 10 hours. Now, I would always start this at 11 o'clock. So if I'm putting the fluid up at 10, then the patient's going to get that first 100 mils by 11 o'clock. And I'd always document my first volume at 11 o'clock and then 10 consecutive 100s after that. Some places say you need to start it at 10. It doesn't, the NMC from feedback, it doesn't particularly matter, but in terms of accuracy, I would always document it an hour later. That makes sense to me. You know, if I'm starting that IV pump at 10 o'clock, they haven't had any of that fluid at 10, but by 11 o'clock, they're going to have that fluid. So that's how I teach that part of the IV fluids. Then you're going to have your output. So we might have some urine. Again, you'll have a time and a specified volume. You might have some vomit, might have some drain output as well. So you just want to document those down. So the best way to complete the chart to reduce error is to complete it systematically. I think that's my favourite word in OSCE training, is just doing everything in a systematic order. So we try and minimise making mistakes. So the first thing we want to do is write all the input and output on the white sections first, before we start adding up any totals, okay? Then we want to add up the hourly total across each time in the green column, and then we add up the accumulative total in the red. So for example, and again, I'm going to show this at the end with the complete chart, but we're going to put everything input first. We're going to complete all the white. Okay, so my patient had 100 mils of water at 9 and another at 2, at 12, 200 mils. I'm going to write that in. I'm going to start to document my fluids if I had fluids. Once I've done all the white input, I'm then going to go on to my hourly total. So the green hourly total is how much have they had in just that 1 hour. Okay, so for example, here at 9 o'clock, they've only had 100 mils, so my hourly total is 100. Here at 12 o'clock, they've had 200 mils, but also 100 mils, so the hourly total is 300 mils. And then at 1 o'clock, they've just had 100 mils of the IV, so the hourly total is 100 mils. Once we've done the green, we want to then do the running accumulative total, okay? So this is where we're adding each hour onto each hour to get our overall input and output. So again, 9 o'clock, if this is the first fluid they've had of the day, the hourly total is going to be 100, but also the running accumulative total is going to be 100. If then at 12 o'clock, we know they've had 300 for that hour, so we're going to add the 300 to the already existing 100 that they've had, and that gives us a total of 400. On to the next hour, so we've just got 100 here, so we're going to add that 100 to the existing 400, and our cumulative total here is 500. And we do that all the way down until we got to the bottom of the chart, and that would give us our overall input for the day. And we do exactly the same on the output chart. So that's how I recommend doing it to reduce mistakes. It's very tempting for nurses to document the oral and then start doing the hourly total, and then they come to the IV section and they realise they then need to add in the IVs, and it just gets really messy. So once you've done that and you've got your total number in the red for the 24 hours, which is your total input, and your total number in the red for the output, which is your total output, you want to take away, so subtract your output from your input, and that will give you your overall fluid balance. And I'm going to go now and show you that on the screen with a full chart, and I'm going to put in some numbers and show exactly how we need to complete that and how we need to write at the bottom as well in terms of what that fluid balance is and whether it's positive or negative. Okay, so this is your fluid balance chart, okay? So remember we would write the patient's details in the box here, okay? Take that off our scenario. And then this is what I mean by plotting. So say our patient's had 100 mils of water at 9 o'clock. I'm going to put that in there, okay? And let me put all the info in. Then maybe they've had another 100 mils at 12 o'clock. And maybe I've put up my fluid. So maybe they're having 1,000 mils of fluid, which is starting at 11. So at 12 o'clock, they're going to have the first hour. 1 o'clock will be the second hour. So say we're going over 10 hours. I'm going to do my 10 boxes of 100 mils. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. maybe they've had another 50 mils here of some IV antibiotics or fluids. So I'm going to put that in. And they've had another 100 of water here. And I'll do another 100 of water here. Okay, you'll have most probably a bit more than that in the exam. Then I'm going to put my urine in. Okay, so maybe they've had 100 of urine here, another 200 of urine here. So I'm just going to take the information off the scenario. Okay, maybe they had a big vomit here. They vomited up 250 mils. Okay, so once you've put in all the white for both input and output, we're then going to do the running totals. Okay, so remember the green is what they've had just for the hour. So for 9 o'clock, they've just had 100. And then here, so we can leave the ones blank, which haven't got anything in, that's fine. And then, so 12 o'clock, they've had 100 of oral and 100 of IV, so that's 200. But 1 o'clock, they've had another 100 of fluid, IV fluid. Here, they've had 100 of IV fluid plus 50 IV meds, so that's 150. Here, we've got 200, haven't we? We've got 200, 100 of oral and 100 of IV. And we've just got some IV, so this is quite simple. Just going to put 100 in here. Don't have anything else to add. And then last box here, we've got again 200, okay? We're going to go and do our green total for our urine. So I've got 100 here. This is normally more straightforward. There's normally not as much to document for the output. I've got 200 here, and I've got 100 here, okay? Now I need to do my running total. So again, what's my total input at 9 o'clock is still only 100 mils. That's all they've had in, haven't they? So 12 o'clock, they've now had 200 mils, which I'm going to add to my 100 mils. So that is 300 mils. Now they've got another 100 mils here at 1 o'clock. So I'm adding that to my 300 to make 400. I'm now doing 150 to my 400, which is 550. Now I've got 200, so to my 550, so this is 750. I've just done 100, so it's easy for me to do without a calculator here. So I've got 750, and now we're just adding hundreds all the way to 10 o'clock. So I've got 750, so that's going to be 850. This is going to be 950. This is going to be 1,050. This is going to be 1,150, so we're adding 100. This is going to be 1,250. And the last one, so we've got 200 here. So that is now going to be 1,450. Okay. So, and in your exam, you'll most probably have more to fill in this chart, but I'm just demonstrating this for. So our total input here is 1,450. Now I'm going to go over and do exactly the same thing on the output. So we've just got 100 here to start off with. So we've got 100 plus 250. So this is 350. And then we've got another 200, so that's 550. Okay, and then we've got another 100, which is 650. So our total out here is 650. Okay, so now we need to work out the total balance. That's where we put in the bottom. So to work out our total balance, we need to do, we need to take away our output from our input. Okay, so we have got 1450, and we're going to minus 650. So our total balance is 800 mils positive, okay? If your input is a bigger number than your output, it's going to be a positive balance, okay? And if your output is bigger than your input number, it's going to be a negative balance. You just want to write in 600 mils, okay? And then in this bottom here, this is where you're going to write positive and negative. So you don't need to put like plus VE, negative VE, just write really clearly here, positive and negative. You then obviously remember you need to print your name and you need to sign your signature here as well. So that's how you complete the fluid balance chart. Again, use the examples in the book, have a couple of practices, try not to rush because that's where we make mistakes. You have got plenty of time to complete this station. Okay, so my top tips for this station is obviously take your time. I know it's so tempted to be rushing and feeling time pressured, but you will make a mistake and then you're going to end up with even less time to complete it. If you make a mistake, you'll need to rewrite the whole chart. So they normally provide 2 copies of the chart in case you do that. Just double check the calculator. Sometimes we input the wrong number or an extra 0. So look at those numbers. Do they look correct? Are they looking really, not quite right? Have I, done something wrong on the calculator? Don't just take whatever the calculator says as, the correct answer. Like I just talked about previously, so complete all the input and all the output. So all the white sections, then do your hourly green section, then do your running total red. As with all the stations, I would just practice this with the timer on so you know how long it takes you and that you can get it done comfortably within the time before your exam. Make sure you have signed and printed your name. Okay, really important. The patient details are on the top. Okay, so make sure they are there. If not, you need to write them on, and make sure you document if it's positive or negative and your overall fluid balance. So I hope that's helpful. I do a lot of OSCE one-to-one tutoring. I get really, really booked up. So it is beginning of March now, and I'm not really taking any bookings now until June because that's how booked up I am, which is great to be sort of supporting you all. But please bear that in mind if you're making an inquiry. I do need a lot of notice. My tutoring clients get all access to my materials. I'm really close to finishing an e-learning platform as well. So for those who don't want tutoring and want to self-study with some guided resources, all updated videos, all scenarios, all practical demonstration videos, it's got everything in there. So watch out for me from when I start advertising that, because that'll be a great resource for you that are self-studying as well. Don't forget to head over to my Facebook page, put a lot of stuff on there as well, or my Instagram page.